Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee. A civilian who broke security at Joint Base Edwards was given away by his unusual headgear. The name of the trespasser has not yet been released, but a statement from the Air Force says the intruder got through a security gate and onto the flight line where he boarded a C-40 transport plane that is sometimes used for cabinet members or members of Congress. It wasn't until an airman noticed that the individual was wearing what was described as a, quote, bright red or pink cap that partially covered his ears and had distinctive balls on top that looked like mouse ears. Once identified as not belonging in the area, the civilian was captured, quote, pretty darn quickly. The Air Force reassured the press that Air Force One, which is also kept at that air base, was never in any danger as it is kept behind another layer of tighter security. That's the news. Let's start the show.
Okay. Is that a real news story?
That's a real news story. Well, of course, you know, now we're worried about Mickey Mouse being put on the no-fly list.
That would be fine. About time you get the mouse for something. Go ahead and start pulling the crew in. There's John and Skunk. Of course, we got Heather on since she's on sort of spring break. She can jump in with us with her schooling. And then Dan, the actual composer of the great Stupid O'Clock intro music. But tonight, we actually have a special guest. We have Brandy from LibertyCon.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Brandy. Well, let's do this right here. Bring Brandy up here to the center screen. Brandy.
Sweetest smile.
You know, yeah, the biggest, sweetest smile. Brandy, the way I bring guests in is I ask them the three questions.
Right.
And I ask them all three at once. That way you can answer them however you want to. They are, who are you, what'd you do, and how the heck did you get suckered into this show?
I'm feeling a little bit of pressure here. So I'm Brandy Bolgeo Hendren. I am the chairman of LibertyCon, which is, I think, probably the answer how I got suckered in here. Because I'm very grateful that y'all are teaching me a little bit about this wonderful program while I get to spend some time with you.
All right. And as you see, I've got a little scroll up at the bottom now to learn more about or to find out more about LibertyCon. Please go to libertycon.org.
Yes, we'd love to see you all.
Yeah. And there's been some changes to LibertyCon this year. Of course, last year, you know, that thing happened. And this year there's a little bit of that thing and some other things. But what is LibertyCon going to do a little different this year?
So unfortunately, we do still have a little bit of that thing going on. And so we are moving to a virtual format. We have been very lucky in the past that we sell out very quickly at LibertyCon, and we sell out our rooms very quickly. That's never been anything in the past we've had to worry about. But unfortunately, this year, we just have a lot of folks who are not quite ready to come out yet. So we're going to go virtual, which is going to be really a fun and neat experience. We have, I think right now we have almost 150 authors, artists, and vendors who are raring to go. We are going to have about 25 hours of programming per track. So it's going to be over 100 events. We're still figuring out the details, so we still need lots of help there. But it's going to be quite the weekend still. It's not quite as good as getting together physically. We're going to be doing that next year. But at least we're going to be doing something, and we're going to try to make as much money as we can for our authors, our artists, and our vendors, and our charity. So this was a big reason we wanted to go virtual, because
And
we have a lot of folks hurting.
And what charity, have y'all got your charity chosen yet? Or
We do. I'm going to wait on that for a minute, because we're still looking at if we're going to do the same charity this year, or if we're going to do a combination next year. So we're going to be posting that soon. We're trying to figure out what the best way to do this is to get the most money for our charity.
And not jump the gun just yet. I understand.
You're fine.
Speaking of money, with attendees not having to put out for hotel rooms or anything like that, or eating out at restaurants, is that going to help you?
Well, I mean, so our attendees are always really generous at the convention. So what we're hoping is that the ones who choose to attend, it's going to be free for everybody. You do not have to have a LibertyCon membership to attend. I mean, there's no point, because everybody can see our streaming content. We want as many people as possible to enjoy the programming and to be able to buy things from our artists, authors, vendors, and to donate. So we're going to have a auction that's going to have some pretty big items in it. We're getting a good response from our authors, and going to have some really neat things there. And then we're going to have some, just if people want to donate a few dollars just on their own. So there's going to be lots of opportunity there to help people.
Well, as long as they're not having to pay for restaurants or hotels or admission, guilt them. Make them give.
Help others. Help others.
PBS.
Yeah, and actually, I will admit this. I may have admitted it to you before, Brandy, or not. Since I work with LibertyCon and promote it so much, I go to all these other conventions. Do you know LibertyCon is the one convention I go to that I spend more at panels than I do at my table?
The good thing about being virtual this year, this will be the first year that I'll get to, either during the weekend or later, I'll get to see all the panels. I've always said that I was going to quit LibertyCon just so I could actually go to programming. So there is some benefit for me, at least.
Yeah. LibertyCon,
25 hours of programming, you're going to have to take a week off.
That's okay.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons we've brought Brandy in here, so I can show her some of the things that StreamYard can do. Like with our show, when somebody, cracks a bad pun, usually you'll get one of these.
Good night, everybody.
Nice.
Or the drum roll.
Or if it's really bad, that's just some of the things that they've got. And also, we can also throw up pictures. Like this picture right here. Get ready, Skunk. Get ready. Skunk's about to do his job. We're also part of a broadcast network called the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. All right, you see Skunk getting ready. Here we go. Skunk, 1 minute. Can you do it in a minute?
Oh yeah. My.
All right. Here we go.
Stupid O'Clock and Armchair Rocket Science are proud members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network because the Rising Tide raises all ships. This is our program schedule. All times are Eastern. Sunday, we have Comics, Chaos, and Sass at 10 p.m. on Facebook. Monday is Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Tuesday is Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. On TED Talks at 10 a.m. on YouTube. Wednesday is Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Thursday, we have TED Talks at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Creative as Hell at 8 p.m. on Facebook. Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube, and Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Friday, we have Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. Facebook and YouTube. The Gayless Tidbits and Scribbles at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. on YouTube. That says Facebook. It's incorrect. Saturday, Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And we also have our wildcard show, Armchair Rocket Science, will air whenever launches are scheduled by NASA, SpaceX, or Blue Origin on Facebook and YouTube. Visit www.facebook.com/Rising Tide Broadcast Network for more information.
Just like that.
57
That is
seconds.
impressive. That is
Big
impressive.
Beat your record.
Oh, that's good to know. And that's not the only thing you can do with it, though, Brandy. I do want to point out you can use PNG files. Fritz will know what I mean when I say that. So this is the stock standard one that comes with StreamYard, but you can do your own. I have one on mine. So you can overlay like this as well. This is just a static PNG image. So you can actually get a little bit more creative with how the show looks. You can have like, you can do like lines around things and logos that appear and stuff like that using the overlay system. So it's got a lot more functionality than kind of what we use it for. It is a bit of a powerful tool.
We only scratched the surface with the actual broadcast. I have gone in, and me and Heather, or Heather and I, or however, we actually ran 4 different streams, separate streams on one channel.
Because you're gluttons for punishment.
Yeah. Just to see what it would take. And you can do that 4 on YouTube, 3 on Facebook.
We didn't push it past 4.
Yeah,
I'm sure we could have gotten more than 4 on YouTube.
But it was just, even StreamYard was impressed that it could do that. They didn't know.
Oh, who was the lady we had from StreamYard that came on our show?
Oh, Kelsey?
Yeah, Kelsey came on the show, and we were talking about how good StreamYard, we were talking about all the stuff we could do with it, and we showed off the green screen effect. We said we did find one little glitch thing that's kind of fun to play with. We showed her the green screen where you change everything green to blue, and she was stunned. I bet we were the tech meeting that afternoon.
Well, you've all just signed up to volunteer at LibertyCon, so this is good stuff.
Yeah, and you can have. Now, one thing that we did is we had we just ran one stream. You're planning on running 4, you said 4 tracks?
So when you look at everything, it will be 7, we think. This is what we're talking about right now, are 4 of what would be traditionally Rich's programming tracks. A 5th one, and I'm thinking through this, a 5th one that would be what we're calling Con Suite, sort of similar to what Chattacon did with some chat rooms, a photo booth. We have a lot of our folks that want to do like a cooking channel, so some things in there. And then we're going to have, I think we're going to do Eventity for vendors, of all types, authors, artists, vendors, hucksters. And then it seems like I'm probably missing another one. Oh, and gaming. So we're going to be doing multiple platforms.
Yeah. If you go on YouTube, Heather, John, Skunk, probably in the next couple days, let's see how hard we can load up YouTube.
With how many streams we can get going at once?
Yes. And I'll get that information back to you.
Oh, that would be great.
Well, you're welcome to use my YouTube channel for one of them if you want. I mean, nobody watches it.
Well, the
But,
way that we did it was we had the 4 streams going at the exact same time through StreamYard to all 4 of the different, because I don't know if you can see it or not, Brandy, but in the upper right-hand corner of your broadcast window, there's 4 little icons with checks beside them.
No,
No,
she
she
Okay.
can't see it. She'd have to have admin.
Mod rights.
Yeah.
But we've
But-
got 4 little icons and we had 2 of those YouTubes. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4 YouTube streams going at the exact same time. And it was just the different StreamYards.
Yeah.
So
And,
you can run them all to the same YouTube channel.
And 2 of our regulars, Carl Whitsman and Carly Carleen. This is about Skunk's read off, the wow, and then Yay Skunk. And Carl Whitsman says, I don't think that anyone could ever read off all the shows, which he just did. And then Skunk pulled it off, though, wow. And see, that's what we were using when we'd have our guest in. They can ask a question, they could post it right into the chat room, and then we could bring it up for the guest to read, and then everybody else could see it.
Is HalloCon still up on
Yes.
your YouTube?
I'm going to be sending her the playlist tomorrow.
And I do want to point out one other thing, too, that's really cool about StreamYard while I was thinking about it, because you're mentioning, you can stream to Facebook, you can stream to YouTube. We mentioned those already. However, Brandy, that's not it. That's not all. Not only can you stream to Facebook, you can stream to Facebook pages, groups, profiles. You can also do that with LinkedIn to pages, events, and profiles. You can stream to Twitch, YouTube. You can stream to Periscope, which can then also double as Twitter streaming. And because I know you've got a brilliant crew over there at LibertyCon, and there's a bunch of computer nerds. You know it. Jeff Wormsley, you got Mark Orman, those crazy guys. You can also do a custom RTMP and stream it directly to the LibertyCon website. Just putting that out there.
That sounds pretty good. We're like I said, we're still talking. So we've got our IT gurus. We're getting them together this weekend and gonna sort of debate different platforms for different pieces of this. So I'm really happy to see this and understand a little bit more, since I can run a physical convention all day, every day with 1,000 people and not blink. But this is a new skill set for me, which is good. It's good to learn.
It was challenging for me, but of course I discovered StreamYard on April 4th, and these guys didn't know it, but I was actually covertly training them to run behind the scenes for the HalloCon show. But what we did is instead of shutting the stream completely down and ending the stream, we kept the stream live. We just we would close whatever platform we were streaming to and then reinitiate it. That way my guest had one link all weekend.
Mm-hmm. And it's super easy to do. It's one button to turn things on and off.
Yeah. And if you you saw the link that you got to get here. It would be, okay, you're doing panels at this such and such time. We also had a green room, which was not broadcast. And thanks to John, is John still in here? Yeah, there's John down at the bottom.
Yeah, he's in the bottom hiding.
I'm over here. Okay.
Yeah. John was our green room monitor most of the time. So when one of the new guests would come in that hadn't been part of the platform before, he helped them get their mics adjusted, get their camera adjusted, and all that.
Virtual floor manager.
Yeah, virtual floor manager.
Nice.
Plus, it stayed open all weekend. And I had, my laptop set up off over this way. And there'd be times, I'd be working with the HalloCon programming, and I look over, and most our guests I'll explain that one in a minute, Carl. Thank you.
Skunk and I both went for it at the same time.
No, I didn't. I started
too.
laughing when it came up on screen. That's what
Oh,
happened.
it was me and
laughing.
John.
Yeah, you and
Me and
John
you
were fighting
over that
over it.
But I would look over at my laptop, which would be the green room, and I'd see most of my guests over there up on screen having conversations back and forth.
Nice.
So it
It
gave
was like a
them
party in the green room. Yeah.
Yeah, literally a party in the
Yeah.
green room. Well, what they're talking about is, I basically ran everything from this computer right here. I had some tape that I placed over my screen on the
In broadcast button.
yeah,
It was not the unbroadcast button. It was over the X's.
over the X's to close out. This was one.
Yeah.
No, stop. Yeah. It's-
Okay.
so
So he
wouldn't
didn't
X
accidentally
out-
close the
Just-
browser.
Yeah,
So
because-
after the party,
Yeah.
we had to have reminders there.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
Uh,
it was to prevent this from happening.
yeah. And then this one was over the Chrome browser X.
No.
And thankfully, it saved me quite a few times because I actually started to try to look around it, and I thought, "Whoa, no, don't do that."
So that's me. I've got reminders everywhere. I have an uncle who does this. He lives in Florida in a condo, and he's got Post-it notes everywhere. And I used to think that was so funny. And after I hit 45 a few years ago, it's really not so funny anymore.
No,
'cause I
it's
do the same
not
thing.
that funny. No,
Yeah, but
Post-it notes.
Send
yeah,
your
those-
mouse or a thing.
but those were actually stuck across the browser tab to where I could not close the browser tab.
Hey,
Just
I want to
smart.
share something real quick just to show Brandy what we were talking about with the buttons and everything.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. Let's see here.
There you go.
Ah,
Yeah.
There's the buttons that show which networks you're on, and of course the in broadcast button, and of course we got all the other stuff. Let's see here.
Well, go
So
ahead and
that's what
pull up,
control power looks like.
John. Go ahead and
Yeah.
pull that back up and show her actually where the overlay stuff is.
I can, but that's a picture. That's not actually punching buttons.
Oh, okay.
But
You'd have to actually. Well, you can share that tab.
Mm-hmm.
What did I miss?
How do I do this? Hang on a second.
Cut your camera off and share screen.
Who? Me?
John.
I don't think you have to
John.
cut the camera
You
off.
don't have to cut your camera off.
You
Just
can
share screen and share that particular.
Yeah, I think I know what Joe's saying, and I think he's right. I will have to.
Otherwise, John will take
Look
off into the
here.
infinity. Oh,
Yeah, it does go off into affinity, but you can see the main gist of it.
Yeah.
Right here are the different buttons to the different streams. You've got your in broadcast button. You can click X right here to actually exit out of the tab, which I don't want to do. We've got our comments over here, and all I have to do is click one, and it comes up on screen. We've got the banners, which he has scrolling down across the bottom right here. We've got our brand stuff. You can change how the names appear, how the text is run, our different logos that we have in the upper corner, overlays, video clips. We've got our private chat, and then there's some settings as well. And then it's I can come down here on the bottom and just add people to the stream, remove people from the stream, mute people. Anything else?
that's pretty much it.
Can we
Okay.
pretty cool.
have it one time now?
Turn that back up, Heather.
She closed it out.
No,
You
doing
can have
something.
10 on screen. If
He
they go
wants-
with the professional plan, you can have 10 on screen at one time,
She can see the private chat from hers.
and with two
Okay.
in the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do you see where it says private chat?
I do. I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if the regular users could see it or not.
Yeah.
Hi, Brandy.
And that way you can chat with people who are in the stream behind the scenes if you need to, which came in super handy for us when we were running HaloCon, because it's like, okay, Blake's got to go get dinner. Hey guys, I'm out for a few minutes. Okay, so we've already got somebody else in the channel. They know that they're going to take over, bringing the comments up, moving the guests around, bringing people up full screen, sharing screens, because the only people who have rights to do that are the moderators. You can't just have some Joe Schmo guest come in and mess around with your stream.
Yeah.
Because if you had somebody who is misbehaving on camera and you were like, this isn't representative of our brand, you can just click one button and they're gone. Doesn't matter who it is.
As long as they're not a moderator.
Yeah.
As long as they're not a moderator.
So how many moderators can you have?
How
As
many do you
as
want?
Son.
StreamYard can have up to 15 or 12 people in the background and 10
12
people on screen.
No, 10 total in what they call the green room, which is the below area, or backstage. Backstage is what they call it. You can have 12 backstage, but 10 on screen maximum.
However, if I remember correctly, because of the way that StreamYard is set up, you can have as many moderators as you want.
Yeah.
Because it's one account. Everyone that you want as a moderator shares the same account.
If you
But
had
they
10
cannot
people on
clean
the
their
screen,
cookies.
If you had 10 people on the screen, all 10 of them could be moderators.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not advisable, because then it gets crazy.
Because then people start clicking stuff just all over the place, and you're like, what the? Turn that? No, leave that alone. I'm trying to turn that on.
Yeah.
I have a few staff members I wouldn't let be moderators. Just be going crazy.
Yeah.
Well, at least
And I'm
I'm
Paul
alone.
Lynn. I'm in the center
I'm
square.
one of the few that are not moderators in this room.
Yeah.
I'm just making
They know better.
comments, Carl, about somebody who doesn't know how to use the program.
Yeah.
They might come in and accidentally hit a button
Yeah. Unlike Zoom,
and mess something up.
Unlike Zoom, you can control who comes in, and actually, where John posted up Stupid O'Clock at LibertyCon.org, I can actually pull that down and I can put him in timeout or block the user. With Carleen, you can mute the person. If somebody's making bad comments, you can either put them in timeout to where they can't comment, or you can just completely block them from commenting ever again.
Mm-hmm. And
I
that's
like the idea of being able to put people in timeout.
Now that's YouTube specific, though. If you have a Facebook post, you can block the user or delete the comment.
Yeah, you can delete the comment. Like I just deleted John's comment on the Facebook page. It's gone. It's not even on the Facebook page.
Look at him. He's so distraught. He's like, why would you do
sorry
that?
son of a biscuit eater.
Well, John, if it makes you feel any better, I'll let you know that Joe Dog's wrong. Joe Dog's 100% wrong. He didn't delete your comment. He deleted the Stupid O'Clock comment that had LibertyCon.org on it.
Yes, that was I put that up there.
Well, put it back.
No.
It did delete it off the page, right?
Yes.
So
I thought you were talking about his test comment. You should have left the LibertyCon.org one.
I got rid
You
of.
should have left the LibertyCon.org one up there so the people that are watching this on the live replay can go, oh, LibertyCon.org, and click the link right
Go
there.
ahead and put it back in there so it'll show back up again.
Actually, I already put the LibertyCon.org thing on both of our Stupid O'Clock pages.
There you go.
So much. This is fantastic. I mean, this is really, you were right, Joe. This is a great way to just sort of see what it can do. I really appreciate all y'all walking
And
me through this.
everybody, all of our viewers are just sitting here watching us.
I
We're
know.
telling the secrets and they're
Sorry.
just watching.
All
Oh
three.
no, it's cool.
Oh,
You're all
three.
watching
Yeah.
me learn.
Four. We've got 4 people watching.
And
Ah.
you know, Brandy, I would
Splendiferous.
A ratings bonanza.
I would be
My.
brave enough if y'all plan on using StreamYard to go ahead and moderate on my StreamYard anybody you want into the main thing and actually bring them in as part of shows to learn how to operate the system. Because trust me, by the end of 1-2 hour show, they're going to know how to run their own show.
That would be great. You know, like I said, we're going to talk about all this weekend. There's a lot of folks that are smarter than me in the IT realm, and I know we've got several platforms that are gonna be debated. So, and then you're gonna be there, Joe. So we're just gonna have those conversations, and I'm hoping this weekend we'll have some of those decisions made because that'll determine sort of, you know, our organizational structure for this deal. I'm very big on pre-planning, you know that.
Yeah.
So
And
You gotta
another thing, they don't have to download anything.
No, it's
No
all-
program
all
has to be
web-based.
downloaded. It's all
It's great for the guest.
for the guest. I mean, just like you
All
came
you
in,
do is click a
boom,
link.
click a link. Like for me, I'm actually going through StreamYard.com/ and then that number behind the StreamYard link. I'm on that same link you are.
that's really nice.
Simplicity.
When we did the convention, like the guests that were going to
Good,
be
John.
in multiple panels, all they had to do was go to the same link. We didn't have to resend links or anything. So they knew, okay, I have to be here at this time and this time and this time. So they just have to go and click that link and it just brought them. We didn't have to spam them with stuff. And there was no confusion.
That
It's
is
always
really
a good
handy.
thing when you're dealing with writers.
You know, simplicity is a good thing when dealing with anyone. And it's you know, it'll be a long weekend. I don't know that it'll be quite as long as the physical convention. Usually by Monday, you know, I think I'm hallucinating some of the time, but in a good way. In a good way. So at least, you know,
Really?
we'll get some sleep this time.
There's no cleanup.
I reached that point on Thursday nights.
Everybody
I
can
did-
clean their own dang house.
It's, you know, there is some benefit, although so my vice chair, Don Puckett, is a fantastic cook. So we're setting up the command center in his house because I'm making him cook all weekend. So I'm all about other people cooking.
All right. This is I had to hunt for it because I get them all confused. But StreamYard has their 3 pillars are ease of use, stability, and professional looking streams. From what you've seen, it almost looks professional.
It's very nice.
Except that we're on it.
That's all
Hey,
right. I'm
and
here.
it's-
I'm taking you down.
Hey, and it's so simple, I'm using it, if that helps. And remember, I learned from Dutch. Do I need to say anything else?
Wow. I don't even. I would need a margarita.
Let's
to
That
go
it
there.
taught me.
Would.
Find out.
Woo.
I washed my hands of that whole comment. Not even going there, Joe Dog.
No, and I apologize. I'm about to have to get off. It's funny, you know, my youngest is a senior in high school, so she's going to be off in college next year. So it's I
What?
know it's been a
What?
hot minute since I know. Is that not crazy?
Beth, the destroyer of worlds, is about to graduate high school.
With a scholarship to UTC to be a psychologist. Isn't that crazy?
All right.
Yes, that's why they call it psychology.
That is
don't
an
even
interesting
know.
profession choice for her.
It
We're
really
all different.
is. she's a very intuitive child. So I think it's going to be a good fit for her. But so it's funny. So for my biological children, for my kids, I'll be an empty nester. But my youngest stepchild is a boy. He's here tonight with us. He's 12. So, we have a bedroom routine. Like I pick him up every Thursday from school, and we have our routine there. And then I have a bedroom routine with him. So that's where I'm about to have to go. I never thought I'd have another one to put to bed at night, but life is surprising.
I've been an empty nester for 12 years now. I love it. When they turn 18, you give them luggage and you move to a smaller house.
We're gonna get our different home when he leaves, but but I will say, so I didn't realize how lucky my dad was with me being a reader. My kids are so brilliant, but neither one of them, my bios are science fiction readers, and Elena's not either really. And so I didn't have a reader before my 12-year-old upstairs, and he's big into fantasy. And so I am just like, he is a gift. He's one of us. So it's very exciting. Although he's 12 and he's already taller than I am.
The science fiction and the fantasy fans, readers, I give them props because some of the words and especially some of the names that they have to read and become accustomed to really test your comprehensive abilities. So yeah, I mean, if they're into that, then their comprehension is up there with the best.
Oh,
I'm lucky. I have very sharp stepkids too, and this kid, he is amazing. So I am I really, I never thought I'd be, going up to the preteens again, and so it's pretty nice. I think I appreciate it more the older I am.
Now, Brandy, I do have one question to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Does Lewis's voice sound familiar to you?
It does. Where do I know this voice from?
I don't know. Maybe WGOW? I do news reports in the morning.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, after we shut this down, then I have to write and voice 3 news stories and email them to Kevin West. And
wow.
5 years ago when Kevin deployed, he asked me to fill in for him while he was overseas for a year to a year and a half. And so I did. And then when he got back, he said, I like having you on the air. Can you just hang around and do some reports every day? I'm like, yeah, I guess I can do that. But I do it from home. So it's
pretty handy.
Yeah.
Except for when you have to cover vacations.
Yeah.
What?
Except for when you have to cover vacations.
Yeah. I do have to go in physically to cover vacations, but I can take a vacation whenever I want to, because as long as I've got my little recorder and my laptop, I can do my job anywhere in the world.
Pretty darn handy.
Yeah. And when Starlink finally releases their RV version, I'm going to be right there because I got a Class C, baby. Rolling studio.
We're going to Florida.
Yep.
And
in Texas. We need to go to Texas.
See, Brandy, with Lewis on here, we can actually say we're a news broadcaster.
You give them legitimacy.
He has credentials.
We have a news.
These are Edward R. Murrow Awards.
Yeah, I don't provide any legitimacy. Sorry.
But Brandy, thanks for jumping in here. I hope this helps you understand what we can offer, and and what I can teach your crew to do. I mean, once your graphics group know how to throw in the overlays, you're going to blow Halicon out of the water.
No, I just appreciate y'all taking time with me tonight. This is great.
Hey, it was great to talk to you. I haven't talked to you since the last in-person Liberty.
I know. That's, there's a million reasons that I hate not having LibertyCon physically, and that's the biggest one. I miss everybody, you
Our
know.
big family reunion.
Yes, it is. It's been tough not to see everybody, especially the last 2 years, but it's gonna happen. I have faith. We are going next year, so because I'm just done with this.
And I have my membership now.
That's right. That's right.
I have a membership that's rolled over like 3 years now.
Mine
Rolled
was in
years
my
now.
cart. I hit submit and it said there are no more memberships.
So so we made the decision because before we knew we were not, before we knew we were going virtual, we made the decision, and it was hard, that we were moving from 750 to 1,000. Some people are aware of that, some people are not. So we will actually, at some point before next year, open up those memberships. So, people sold out what would have been this year in 29 minutes and 42 seconds, I think it was. We sold the 750 out. And so, but, there'll be more coming because of this, because of this jump. And it will be the last jump we have. So we are not going any bigger because I want to know, if you come for a few years, I want to know you. So we are not going to go, bigger, 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 bigger.
I'm actually really shocked by that, Brandy. I really am. I never thought that would ever change. It was one of the most frustrating things about trying to go to Liberty, but it was also one of the things that made Liberty so special. If you got in, and if you were somebody who had been going for several years like we have, you knew everyone. You knew as soon as you saw somebody, you knew exactly who they were. And being that tight-knit of a group, even at 750 people, was like Heather said, it was a family reunion. It was coming home. So
that's the way I've been describing it for 50 years.
And I grew up with these people.
And I think
it is a family reunion for me.
I think even with 1,000 people, it's still gonna sort of be like that. But with 1,000 people now, it's like, oh man, I gotta learn 250 new faces.
It is, but we really talked about it. But with the facilities, we're in, and we love our venue, and I think we can manage it. If we got to a few years and 1,000 was just too big, and we're starting to lose that feeling, we can take it back down. I mean, we're very aware of that because we do well at 750 from a financial standpoint, but we also recognize that we're serving a need. And I know it's very frustrating for people who've come for decades who can't get in. And so we were trying to strike a balance. You're never going to make everybody happy. If you try to make everybody happy, no one's going to be happy. But it's something we thought we can manage. Pretty vigorous. I can love 1,000 people in a weekend. Good.
For 2020, I didn't have a membership, and I had a room. I was going to go and just hang out outside the function space because the people mean that much to me.
And if you're local, especially, we have like a 5% drop the last 2 to 3 weeks. And so we have a waiting list. And usually, if you're local and you're on the waiting list within a week, because, a lot of people who aren't local can't get in, it happens.
I want to point out, by the way, sign up if the next 250 people who buy tickets, if that does happen, definitely sign up for the waiting list. Because I saw several years ago, way back in the day, I remember LibertyCon selling out, and I signed up for the waiting list, and it was like 3 days before the convention. And they messaged me back. They're like, "We have an opening," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm broke now. I couldn't go." But
Lewis has a question.
As a newbie, I have a question. Now, is a membership just the yearly admission?
Yes. So
Oh, okay.
pay
'Cause-
$50. Yeah, you pay $50 to get in,
uh-huh.
and that includes the admission for the whole weekend to all of our events. We do when we have a physical convention, at least.
Mhm.
There is beer in the con suite, sodas. We have a really good sort of food menu, more snacky type things, but you will not go hungry at all. In the it's more than peanut butter and crackers. You're not going to go hungry all weekend if you
Mhm.
just like to graze a little bit. We have, goodness gracious, we have so
So if
many
you don't
types of
have a
programming.
membership, you can't go.
Correct.
Okay.
It is a limited
Now-
attendance.
Now I know nothing about the inner workings of the cons, but this is just my venue experience. Have you ever thought about something like a permanent seat license in the NFL where you sell a membership to a person that has gone every year, and you say, okay, if you've got this PSL, then you are guaranteed, at least through the first week of registration, you're guaranteed a spot. And then if you've got 500 people who have this PSL, and then at the end of that week, you haven't sold to all of them, then you can open up the membership to others. Have you ever thought about something like that?
Oh, lifetime
So
membership.
That way
are
people like
conventions
Heather,
do that.
Yeah.
that way
Absolutely.
people like Heather who live
Yeah.
locally and they know they're going to be able to make it every year, they can rest assured that they don't have to miss out, and they don't have to be sitting there, trying to get in within a 29-minute period.
I did miss my
NACRACon
membership.
did that.
Dragon Con actually sold
NACRACon
lifetime membership.
They had lifetime memberships.
And
They were
back when they first started selling them, they were like $200. And I almost bought
Mhm.
one because I was home on leave and had the money. And now they're going for what, 800 or 1,000?
No, it's more than that.
It's
It's
more than
a
that
thousand.
now. It's more than that now.
That's
It's
NFL
very
money there.
So there's two flavors of that. There is the lifetime membership that some conventions do. So we're on LibertyCon 33, and it's really our 35th year because we skipped last year. And then back in the day, we had to skip a year because our hotel caught on fire 6 weeks before.
Yep.
But
I remember that.
So when you look at longevity, we have no plans to shut down. So a lifetime membership isn't really economically viable long term for a limited membership convention like we are.
Mhm.
As far as the
Mhm.
whole sort of pay to be an early membership adopter, that's something that we've chosen not to do because we want everyone to have the same chance. We don't want it to be, if you're more affluent and you can afford this, something, that you have a chance before anybody else.
Okay.
Like I said, with a limited attendance membership convention, there's never going to be a perfect solution, but we want everybody to have that same chance to attend every year. And that's also why we really try to be very vigilant about keeping a waiting list. So if people drop because real life happens, we can get those people
Mhm.
that want to come.
On the other hand, if you give Joe Doc $22,000, you do get a lifetime membership to Halicon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, for $22,000, he'll give you a Helicon.
There's a convention I have a lifetime membership to, and I won't name the convention, but because I did the math, and well under, because they give you a membership and they give you a T-shirt every year, and in 8 years I break even. So after 8 years, I'm going for free, and that's great for me, but really not great long term for the convention. It's a great way for a new convention to get that capital up front if they need it, but we don't need that capital up front. And I intend to be handing off to somebody else around LibertyCon 50, maybe 55, whatever. And so
You're a little
my gosh, it's 25 years,
entrepreneur.
so I'll do 25 years. Yeah, I just got to find the person. So
You're
I
raising
want
them now.
Stop it, Dan.
Breeding them.
Thanks.
How do you
but
think
yeah,
she got the job?
I was birthed to run conventions. That's like the only reason that Dad birthed, had me. Just to run the convention. I was bred for this.
Brandy, I'm glad you made a joke out of it. I was sitting there just being like, Dan, no.
Yep. So there you go.
We actually have a video for that, but I'm not going to play it right now.
All right, I got to get my little one to bed. So,
Brandy, thank you
y'all.
so much.
It was nice talking
here.
to you.
It was
Thank
good
you.
seeing you.
I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yeah. And go ahead and I'll send you the links to all the Helicon so y'all can sort of review what we actually did and how we did it. And then, like I said, I will gladly help train anybody, and I'm sure Skunk, Heather, and John would be jumping in there too.
Thank y'all. I'll see y'all soon.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
That was Brandy from LibertyCon up in Chattanooga. They're going virtual this year, and hopefully we can help them with their StreamYard practice. And I want to say hi to the two real geeks down in Atlanta. Thank you for jumping in. Yeah, we were talking to Brandy from LibertyCon. Go ahead and kill that one.
I do have one thing to say, something that came up during that exchange with Brandy.
Yeah.
Lewis?
Yeah.
Were you making fun of me? I read horror when I was a kid, and I think I grasped things just perfectly.
Oh, no. It was not meant to disparage anyone, but I know that I've tried to read some of these fantasy novels, and some of the names the authors come up with are like,
yeah.
So I don't think that's pronounceable.
I was never a fantasy guy, but I did read. Speaking of LibertyCon, I did read a lot of Star Wars stuff, especially Timothy Zahn stuff. And those Star Wars names are very hard to pronounce.
But Star Wars, at least you've got the advantage of having seen the movie.
Yeah.
So you hear a lot of those names in the movie, and even the ones that aren't movie characters, you've kind of got a basic phonetic alphabet from it, so you can kind of figure it out. But
I'll give you that.
Sometimes I think the authors reach into the Scrabble box, grab a handful of tiles and throw it across the table, and then use two of the things to line them up, and then start flipping them over and go, okay, that sounds good.
To be completely fair to my point, though, right? Yeah. Lovecraft, and I'm going to end it right there. I don't want to say too much about H.P. Lovecraft, but the names, God, the names make Latin look pronounceable.
Well, when I was in fourth grade, we were given an English assignment to write a little short story, and I actually went from a B to an A, the teacher said, because I had such an inventive character name for the protagonist, and his name was Sloopy Fargerfield. She says, "Where did you come up with that name?" And I said, "Well, Sloopy, I was thinking of the song Hang On Sloopy, and then Fargerfield, I really had no idea. It was like I was just throwing out sounds, and that one kind of came together." So
I have a true story about getting in trouble in elementary school because of my love of horror. When I was in first grade, we had to do a book report. This was also, by the way, the thing that got me pointed towards gifted classes. Just want to point that out. We had to do a book report in first grade on the book. We pick a book, read it, do a book report. Okay, all right. So I grabbed one of my favorite books, pulled it off the shelf, read it again. It was like the second time I've read this book, right? And I was writing down all the little plot details and everything else, and you had to present it to the class as a report. So, you know, everybody else was going up there and just being like, my report is about Clifford, the big red dog, goes for a walk in the park by, you know, whoever's name it was, you know. So I'm sitting there waiting, and they call on me, and I go up there doing it. My book report is about Christine by Stephen King. Oh, I got about 2 minutes into that book report, and my teacher was just like, okay, no, you need to sit down before you continue any further. And I was like, I'm not even done. She's like, I know the book. Go sit down. You're in big trouble. And they ended up calling my mother about that. And my mom was like, no, he's a huge Stephen King fan. He reads all the books. He reads my entire Stephen King collection. And the school was like, wait, you don't read these books to
Then Child Protective Services came out.
Well, they were like, hold up. He reads these, you don't read these books to him. And my mom was like, occasionally he asks me what a word means. And they were like, but he can read this? And my mom was like, yeah. And they were like, Miss Guthrie, you do understand that your son is reading at like a 12th grade reading level. And then she was like, yeah, so what?
That reminds me
We'd
of
like to give him a test to see if maybe he'd be qualified for the gifted program. And my mom was like, yeah, go ahead, test away, have fun. You know, I don't care. And I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, ooh, another test? Yay. Right.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Heather, you were not that much older than me. Stop it.
I did not have to do book reports until 6th grade.
I had to do book.
Well,
I did a book
And they had
report.
to be national award winners.
Yeah.
Well, I did a book report in the 1st grade, and they were like, pick any book you want. I do a book report in the 3rd grade, but it had to be historical. What did I'm trying to remember what book I did for that one. I want to say because it couldn't be like Stephen King or anything like that. But it had to be a historical book, and I think it had to, if I remember correctly, it had to be a biography. I think I did mine on Patton, if I'm remembering correctly. We had to do a report in the 5th grade, and he had to do like a whole presentation and all this other stuff. And that was another time that I got in trouble, of course, because my report in the 5th grade was on the video game I was playing at the time. You might have heard of it. It's called Doom.
Hey, that's got a good story behind it now.
Now,
It's like one of
Has
the
Doom really been out that long?
yeah. Doom came out in 93.
You're how many years younger than me, Skunk?
How old are you again? I keep forgetting.
I was born in 81.
I was born in 86.
So there's 5 years. So
Yeah.
that means, yeah, I was in high school. Because I was just like, I thought that game came out when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Well,
one of
93.
my first
Yeah.
experiences going online was to play Doom with somebody else, a friend of mine, online. And I just kept shooting everything that came up to me. And he goes, I thought you didn't want to play deathmatch. You just killed me 3 times.
We used to
Now-
set up LAN parties at the high school.
When he was talking about his getting in trouble with the book, I got in trouble because one of my classes, I want to say it was 6th or 7th grade, we had to write song lyrics to one of our favorite songs.
Oh no. What did you do?
Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb.
I knew it was Pink Floyd. As soon as he said it, I got in trouble for song lyrics. I knew it was Pink Floyd. Just wasn't the song I thought it was.
What do you think it was?
Money.
No,
Mhm.
Pink Floyd, The Wall, Comfortably Numb.
Comfortably
No.
numb, yeah.
My parents actually went and took the album away from me.
Okay,
Now,
so
so you,
in 6th grade,
Isn't
my
this where we came in?
Yeah. What
in
about
6th
6th
grade,
grade?
my English teacher had us diagram American Pie. She had us break it down. What did he mean by, I cried when I read about his widowed bride? What did he mean when he said the marching band refused to? And we had to go down and try to break it down, and we were pretty close. I mean, Don McLean didn't really give an explanation for all of his lyrics until many, many years later.
It was
Probably
just
just a few
recently.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we knew that, the day the music died was the plane crash of the Big Bopper and, and so,
Richie Valens and Buddy Holly.
And Buddy Holly, yeah. His widowed bride was Jackie. That was the Kennedy assassination, and it was really interesting, and it got us focused because it was using something that we all knew about and cared about because the song had recently been released. This was 72. So yeah, it was fun. It was a week-long project.
I do want to point out for Brian K. Morris, who is watching us. Hi, Brian. I want to point out for his benefit something else I got in trouble for when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I took you have all these different classes you have to take, and you could take different versions of the same class at Ringgold. So you could take English literature, or you could take like creative writing, or you could take there's a whole bunch of different things for the same qualification of like a core class, right? So I was in a literature class, and they had us do a book report on modern contemporary literature, and me being the rebel smartass that I was, I did it on Watchmen because I was hanging out at the coffee shop and dude gave me let me borrow a copy of his personal copy of Watchmen. He was like, you need to read this. It will blow you away. If you're into because we were talking about Quentin Tarantino movies and talking about comic books, and he was like, you've got to read this, and he let me borrow it. And the whole entire thing being that I had to bring it back to him at some point. Of course I did. But I read from cover to cover that book, and this is amazing. And, keep in mind, almost a decade before the movie comes out, and I'm like, this is the most amazing thing in the world. Oh, I love Rorschach. He's my favorite character. It's so great. I wrote about Watchmen, and after I wrote about it, the teacher in the class was like, so this is a book. You were very, very specific about the imagery of this book. It sounds like a very creative writer. Do you, is this, what novel is it? Like, can you bring a copy of this novel in and read? I'm like, oh, it's a graphic novel. And she was like, it's a graphic novel. It's a comic book. And she got so mad at me for not picking a book with just words in it.
I had a teacher get mad at me for doing a book report on Moby Dick in high school. She couldn't believe that I read the whole thing in like 2 days.
Oh,
I still haven't read that book.
My favorite one of those was of that sort of thing. This is not related to literature at all, but my favorite one of those was when I was in college for that one semester, and nobody could believe that I did an Illustrator vector image, right? And I did it in like 15 minutes. Nobody could believe I did this in 15 minutes. And Dan, that's very appropriate because what I vectored was a glass of beer. It was a glass of beer sitting on a table. I vectored every part of this image. It was 100%. You could blow this thing up to poster size, and by God, I did. And it was full clarity and quality and everything else. And I did, and they could not believe I knocked it out in 15 minutes. What I did in that college class, I knocked it out in 15 minutes, but I got it done. The teacher was like, could you even do anything else to that? And I was like, nope, it's done. I finished it. It's complete. I'm done with it. And everybody was like, wow, you already got the project done? We have 1 week to complete this. And I'm like, yep, I got my 1 week now. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to use these really powerful computers to do whatever the hell I want. I just sat there on the IMAX making my own graphics and playing EVE Online. I failed that class.
Well, thanks to Skunk, we've got a new attachment for the Grillzilla.
Oh, that is not thanks to me, sir. That is not thanks to me. No, Joe Doc, do not put that. Do not put that on me. Okay, that was a team effort of everyone,
Of you and Greg.
and you, because you have to restore the damn thing,
Yeah.
and Dutch, who donated it and also helped us move it, because he did move it the first few feet in order to get it out of that area they had it in for us to carry it. The only person who didn't help was your wife and that little rat dog she was carrying around.
Yeah. Now, Lewis, we didn't know that the top of a Blackstone comes off.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
So
we found that out when we tipped it over and it fell and it almost took my foot off.
Yeah, but it didn't hurt the top.
No, that thing was solid. I thought at first
rolled steel.
We also were taking some we were also grabbing some scrap metal from there so Joe can go and recycle it and get some cash. And when one of the things was it was a steel backboard for a basketball hoop, right? I mean, this thing was heavy. And when I was putting it in the trailer, I thought at first we bent it. We bent that thing. And I wasn't gonna say anything to Joe because I didn't want Joe to be mad at me that I bent the thing when I was so terrified of saying anything. When we got back to Joe's house and we unloaded the backboard, I looked down and I realized, nope, that's just the grease trap.
Oh yeah,
it's the runoff.
Yeah, yours is a little bit older model, so the grease trap is in the front and it goes off. Now, where you hang the actual grease trap, they do make an extension for that trough, and you will need it. Otherwise, the grease is going to run down the leg of the unit. There's a little extension that makes the grease travel a little farther before it goes into the catch cup. So,
all right,
I'll help you. I'll help you get a hold of that, and you're probably going to need to order new knobs and a new igniter. But it looks like everything else.
Yeah, it needs an igniter for sure. And
I got it.
Knobs are fine, but we got to test it.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, real quick, I want to say something.
What?
Yeah, I was gonna say hi to Ted. Ted, if you're watching this on the replay, I'm so sorry, but I was gonna say hi to you, but when you showed up, we were in the middle of talking to Brandy, and she was going over some really important LibertyCon stuff. I didn't want to interrupt. I'm sorry, Ted. We love you, man. Ted is awesome. Subscribe to Ted Davies Artistry on YouTube. Anyway, you guys keep talking. I gotta pee.
Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm just going to check the burners and make sure they work.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put the top on. I'm just going to stick a lighter down there and turn one of them on.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm going to have to restore the top, but the rest of it, it's, that's what, a $350 grill?
Yeah. Well, I paid $300 for mine. So.
All right. So $300 for a gallon of gas to go get it and bring it home.
Elbow grease. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this?
If the burners are working, then that's half the battle.
Yeah. And you said get a new igniter. Trust me, one of the first things I pull off when I scrap out a grill is the igniter system.
Okay.
I'll put an igniter on every. I got one that I can put an igniter on every burner.
You just need one and four electrodes.
Well,
you can do that.
Electrode or a cathode?
Well, it's got one
cathode.
It's only got one electrode on it to the one sparker, and that goes to the first burner. Closest.
Then it's missing three because there are three different gas jets, and mine has one. Well, there's four. Mine has a sparker on each burner.
Okay.
It's all operated from the one.
Yeah.
Ignition switch, which my gas grill, which apparently Heather says we have the same gas grill, has a piezoelectric starter in each of the gas knobs. So when you turn the knob, you can feel a physical clicking, and that's a piezoelectric. What?
It looks just like the one I've got in my backyard. There's a propane, there's a charcoal, there's a smoker.
Yeah.
And then it's got the eye on the far left.
Well, actually, mine's not a smoker.
Oh,
That on the left is an eye, but I
I've got-
don't have a smoker on that one.
okay. Mine's got a little square on the end that's a
Okay.
smoker. 4th of July, we smoked pork butt in it,
Mm,
and it was really good.
I
yeah.
have a bit of confusion over one of the words you're using.
What?
Mm.
You were saying what
Piezo?
kind of ignition was it?
Piezoelectric.
Piezoelectric. Yeah,
Or you-
it's a crystal that
In electronics
sparks.
class, I was taught piezo. People
I
pronounce
was
it.
taught piezo.
yeah, I was going to
I
say
thought rocket
I
launchers.
thought it was piezo.
Only if you're in Italy.
Go
And
to
then you talk
Google.
about a plaza. It's a piazza.
I've always pronounced it as Pizio.
Good night, Brian. Thanks for tuning
But
in.
you know what? You know what? It's like Lafayette or Lafayette or
Tomato,
Lafayette.
Potato,
Just
It's
whatever
whatever
your
it is.
regional accent requires.
Coke, Pop, or Pepsi. Pick one. Or Coke. No, it's not
Soda.
Pepsi.
Pop,
Pop.
soda, or Coke?
Pop, soda, or Coke. That's what I was trying to say. I got
Soda.
myself confused because
Salsa.
Piazzo. Oh God, there's like 400 different ways of pronouncing it. You know what I found out recently though.
What?
This also comes down. I had this happen. We were talking about pronouncing things earlier, Lewis, and this also happened with tabletop role playing games. Who here has played Vampire the Masquerade?
Me.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so there is a clan in Vampire spelled Toreado.
Tremere? Or
No, not Tremere. Toreado.
Tor.
Yeah,
Toreadors?
Toreador, right?
Toreador. Yeah.
Toreador. We've all pronounced it Toreador, right?
Yeah.
You know that's wrong?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, apparently it's wrong because I heard it pronounced in the Vampire the Masquerade video game and it's Toreador. I've never heard it pronounced like that in my life, but apparently it's correct. Toreador. Because it's Spanish. I
Did
was
we
like,
pick that up from the description of the? Like, I'm asking, did you ever see that in the description of that house? Clan.
that the clan is Spanish?
Spanish, yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I
been
just
so
found out-
long.
I found out about this because I was watching somebody. I was getting really angry. I was watching somebody playing VTM Bloodlines on Twitch, and he kept pronouncing it that way. And I was getting really angry until I heard another character in the video game. The character in the video game pronounced it that way, and I was like, "What?" And then I Googled it, and I was like,
now
that-
we can tell our old school gamers from
They're wrong.
the new ones because the old school say it one way and the new ones say it a different because they heard it.
Everybody ready?
Okay. here we go.
Pizio.
Paizo.
Peso. The peso speaker.
I think
I'm
that's
still
what.
gonna keep saying it my way.
I think that's what Lewis was saying, wasn't it?
Well,
Paizo.
they're giving a little bit longer E. I say piezo,
Oh,
so I'm missing the E. Apparently, it's piezo.
Okay. Most military rocket launchers use piezoelectric. Okay.
Yeah,
But they called it. Every class I've ever been to, they said piezoelectric.
and the better spud guns do too.
yeah.
See, because I know it. You have the speakers, little speakers. We always called them. Now it's messing with me. I don't even know what we called them anymore. I'm sitting there thinking. Now I'm trying to remember what we called them. We called them piezo speakers, piezo speakers, piezo. I don't remember now. This whole entire conversation's got me I'm all mush mouth right now. I need.
I've always said
and
and everybody understands what I'm talking about. So I'm an old dog. Screw the new tricks.
There you go.
Oh, I've got a question.
Hey, Lewis, I wouldn't talk about screwing any new tricks.
Oh, well.
I'll do it to myself. Hold on.
Good night, everybody.
I've got a question for Heather. Totally off subject, but
Please.
I'm getting bombarded with tweets from a certain rocket launch company. Have you noticed that they have really been posting a lot of tweets, yet they haven't launched a rocket in months? ULA?
Because I don't.
Black,
I haven't been on Twitter.
Who?
Black
Blue
Cat.
Origin?
ULA.
Black
Oh.
Cat.
They're getting ready for Vulcan.
Yeah. Ever since SN10 stuck the landing, and basically it did, it stuck the landing
Mm-hmm.
hard into the ground, but it stuck it.
On two busted legs.
Yeah. ULA has been tweeting 3 times a day since then. They had been silent.
I was gonna
And we're
ask
seeing
if
all
it
kinds
was-
of stuff about SLS, the green run again.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys if it was Black Cat. That's the only rocket company that I'm worried about right now.
We are
Almost
getting
lost
closer to
a thumb one
4th
of
of
those.
July.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's got
That's
right
the Chinese space program. We're not talking about them.
Was that during one of the Armchair Rocket Science streams? It was during one of the it was the SN10 test fire, and I was like, Joe Dog, there's a fatoon but no bang. We need the bang. It has to be a fatoon but no bang. He didn't know what I meant. Fatoon bang.
Yeah. Well, thankfully there's been no bangs in the air. It's all been on the ground.
Oh, the last one was spectacular. It was like it's
8 minutes.
It's so cool that it's so cool that it went up, right?
Yeah.
Did its descent, flipped around, landed, and then went boom. Maybe the next one won't go boom. Maybe it'll land and just stay there.
Well, he's already stated he's going to change it because it landed on 1 engine this time. He lit 3 and then shut them down to where there was only 1 when it landed. Well, now he's going to light 3 and he's only going to shut 1 engine down. So he's going to use 2 to land it.
Hey, that's the thing. What is the
and they
old saying?
tested the legs this time.
What's the old saying? The old saying goes,
Heather.
You cannot make an omelet unless you break a few eggs. Yes, they went through 10 of them. Number 11.
Technically 9. Because 7 was just a bopper tank, a test tank. All they did was fill it with nitrogen till it blew up to test the new metal.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, but again, that's an egg. That's an egg that we broke to make this omelet. And if that omelet makes it so that we have an all new full purpose system of being able to travel the stars, I'm okay with breaking as many damn eggs as it takes. We'll just throw the whole dozen in there. We'll be fine with it.
We know once he gets it right, it's going to be 100% grand. Look at Falcon.
Yeah.
Lewis?
So are the SNs the same weight as a flight ready, or are they a little bit lighter because there's no payload?
Do
they have a dummy payload?
It's just half a rocket.
Okay.
That's
well, yeah, I know.
actually
It's the top. It's the top
second stage.
No, it's the bottom
second
half.
stage.
No, this
the
is
bottom
the
half.
second stage. They've
Right.
got the first stage being stacked right now, and they're getting ready to start their testing campaign with it. They're bringing in all new fuel tanks, like for the tank farm, they're building a whole new area just for the first stage booster.
Okay. The point that I'm trying to make, though, is that in the actual usable rocket that's going to have a payload, you're probably going to need 2 engines to land anyway, because it's going to be a heavier rocket because of the payload. Right?
The reason he's been doing it this way is 1, to save fuel costs, 2, because it's not going supersonic, and it's not coming
It's not
down.
saving any fuel because it's all getting burnt up in 3 seconds.
That is true.
At least they don't have to unload it.
But they're not fueling it up as well. They fueled up this one more than they did the last ones, but
because he knew that he was going to run the engines harder. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. To answer your question,
they're learning
this
new
is just a
things.
guess. Yes, what they're testing will be lighter than the actual payload loaded version. So they
The
might
working
wind
model,
up-
not the test model.
Now they might only need 1 engine to land on Mars.
Oh
and the
yeah,
moon.
absolutely, because it's 1/6. What, 1/6 gravity?
Yeah.
1/6. Yes.
1/6 on the moon, 1/3 on Mars.
1/3.
Oh, 1/3?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you,
It's
Joe.
40% the size of Earth.
Lewis,
Hmm.
a synapse just fired in my brain, and I
Oh,
think I
did it
remember.
hurt?
It
I hate
did.
when that
I have to
happens.
I have to
I wasn't
remember
gonna go there,
something,
Lewis.
and I'm not sure if I'm remembering it correctly. So I need to ask you something.
Hmm.
Do you have your pilot's license?
Pardon?
Do you have your pilot's license?
I was working on it when 9/11 happened, and I stopped because commercial aviation was, just getting a little crazy, and unfortunately, I never went back. I've got my flight book and my log book, and I've got a few hours, but yeah, no.
My
I mean,
brother-
I've got all my ground school. I've still got all my Jeppesen manuals. Still got my calculator, my knee board, headsets. I'm ready to go. If I had the
my
money, I
brother
could
Jake. My
go
brother
down and
Jake
pick
was
it up
training
right
to be an
away.
airline pilot, and
What?
he was actually in a class with 2 of the guys that flew the 9/11 planes down in Florida.
Yeah.
And
Well, the $100
after that, he
hamburger
was just
after
like,
9/11, the $100 hamburger became $250 hamburger because you used to be able to rent a Cessna 182 for $120 wet per hour. That, $120 wet, that includes gas.
Mhm.
So
I assume that's what wet meant.
yeah.
I actually want to say something that's kind of heartbreaking, and John and Lewis will make fun of me for this. When I was a kid, one of my dreams was to get my pilot's license. Not necessarily like be a pilot, like a commercial pilot. I just wanted to have my pilot's license because I loved playing flight simulators, so I thought flying was really super cool. And then I joined the JROTC, and it was Rappel Day, and I realized that I don't necessarily have a fear of heights, but I do have a very big fear of falling.
Yeah.
I
Well, you just have to remember
C-130 one day, and I could not look out the window because all I could think every time I look out the window was like, wow, if we go down, I'm dead. And I don't like planes, man.
but the fall doesn't kill you. It's the sudden stop at the end.
at the end, yeah. If you've ever, I'll tell you what.
And Lewis just stole my joke.
When the cable breaks, all you got to do is jump at the last minute.
They proved that on MythBusters. That's bullshit.
Mythbusters is bullshit. So
there was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
No, Dan. MythBusters is 100% true. They proved that if you try to jump at the end of it, if an elevator crashes and you try to jump,
you're still gonna break your leg.
You're already at velocity.
I know.
I've got Discovery Plus.
I do have an understanding of physics. I do know how it works.
I've got Discovery Plus, and every episode of MythBusters is on there.
I discovered something cool recently. If you sign up for the free version of Peacock. You don't have to pay for it since it's NBC, unless you want the premium stuff that NBC offers, like the WWE stuff and etc. But if you sign up for the free version, just the free account, you can watch every episode of Monk for free.
I can watch that on Amazon Prime.
Heather, I said
I know
free.
it's not free.
I'm trying to help the good people out here, and you're shilling for, well, I guess it's not Jeff Bezos anymore. He doesn't own it anymore. He took his $7.9 billion or whatever and split. But
Oh, he still
That's
owns
a
it. He
golden
just-
parachute
Yeah,
right there.
he owns it. He just ain't running it.
He says, all right, guys, I've got it running. Just maintain.
and
I'm
I
going to go play
I
with
just-
Rockets.
I get a student account, so I take advantage of it, and it pays for itself.
I'm glad
Now-
I'm wearing my T-shade, so you
Yeah.
can't see how hard I'm rolling my eyes.
Now I can give you one better. You know, you can get the NBC, just plain NBC app, or the Sci-Fi app, and get the same channels.
I can do you one better, Joe. If you
Yeah.
don't have a moral compass, you can just bootleg everything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give out the address here, but just holler at me. I'll send you a link to my Plex account.
I use my moral compass as a ceiling fan.
Yeah.
Keeps the
Give
house
me
cool in the
time.
summertime.
Give
I
me
don't
time.
have,
I will have the ultimate switch.
I don't have cable. I don't have any of that stuff. And so therefore, when the next season of a show that I want to watch, like let's say, I don't know, What We Do in the Shadows or Rick and Morty comes out, I'm going to send a little text message over to a friend of mine and be like, hey, can you make sure that this ends up on the server so I can watch it? And my friend will be like, absolutely. How high of a quality do you want it? 1080p or 4K? And
Let me
I'll have
ask you
it within
this.
seconds of the episode ending, because
Rick,
I've got connections like that.
Are you talking about Mo? Are you talking about Mo?
You don't know who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Do I
thought
know
you-
who you're talking about?
No.
It's Curly.
Dan.
Yeah. Heather may know who I'm talking about. Mo?
No.
No. Dan knows who I'm talking about.
Put
Oh,
the
I
letter.
do. Okay, thank you. Yes,
Yeah, I
I
know
do
who you're
now.
talking about.
Yeah, Heather knows who I'm talking about. Just
Am I
put the
saying that-
letters together. Put the letters together, Skunk.
One of my hookups.
Yeah.
I have multiple hookups.
We put the letters together of what?
Bad
Mo?
girl.
Of Mo, yeah.
Make your mama cry.
My mom has the same hookup.
Oh, I don't think we're talking about the same thing with the hookup.
I don't.
I don't know.
I
I was
actually
thinking
don't. I
Beatles
don't know
lyrics
what
when you
Joe
said
Doc's
that
talking
word.
about. So I'm not.
Send him a private message. Don't put it in the private chat. Just send him a private message.
Yeah. Why don't you?
He'll be
email on
like-
Facebook.
When he gets it. And I think I just gave
You sent
myself
it
a
to me
headache.
on Facebook. Don't do that, Heather. Dan knows who exactly what I'm talking about. But
I do now, but I didn't before. If you hadn't said that I know, I wouldn't have known.
No, I know. That's why I made the comment that my mom
Facebook,
has
why
the
are
same
you-
hookup.
Facebook, stop it. Facebook, I need you to quit and load the thing that I want you to load. You're actually actively making me angry right now, Facebook.
I like making little he's occasionally.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I have stayed at that person's house.
Okay.
Let me tell you. All right. The person that I'm talking about,
Yeah.
would be jealous. 'Cause I've seen what Mo has.
Mo, What Mo has?
Yeah, I've
Call
seen
him
what Mo
Mo.
has. Mo's got Mo's got the hookup for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
See, that's who I thought you were talking about.
no.
Mo gave me a really nice Wii. Like, it was my Wii, but Mo hooked me up.
I remember.
Oh,
I remember when I stayed the night over at Mo's house.
What did you do?
that is a good question. That is a real good question.
Oh, no. You don't get a laceration like that and not know how.
Let me real quick. Joe told me the
I
story.
can understand bruises.
Hold up. Joe told me the story about that, and I will let him finish in a minute. But I want to say the thing I wanted to say about Mo real quick before we get off subject, and then I'll turn it over to Joe Doc. Joe Doc can tell you how he cut himself. Mo, when I stayed over at Mo's place, Mo asked me, what do you want to watch? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, put on whatever. Whatever you want to watch. Let's watch what you want to watch. And Mo's like, no, I literally mean that. What do you want to watch? And hit a button. And it was the tiniest little, like, I mean, it was gigantic, because it's got a gigantic screen, right? And this was the tiniest font I've ever seen on a screen that big of literally all the files that they had. And they were like, I can get you, if this doesn't tickle your fancy, I've got a whole, like, cloud archive that I could get stuff from. Like, and I'm just looking at it going like, dude, just put on whatever you want to put on. This is, you get, Devo said it best. Okay. Freedom from choice is what I want. Don't make me choose between 8 billion options. I have no idea. Just give me the things that I want. Like, I don't know. Give me 3 things to choose from. Like, don't give me 8.
Give me 3 steps. Give me 3 steps, miss.
Don't give me
Louis, will you stay out of my head?
If you give me infinite options, I can't choose anything. It was insane. Like, literally. Like, the dude. And I don't remember. If I remember correctly, just threw on Eureka or something. Whatever. I was drunk. I was passing out anyway. That was after a wedding. And I remember, I do not remember that wedding. I do not remember that wedding because I remember the wedding. I don't remember the reception because once the reception started, I got so blackout drunk. I was actively being like the worst person in the world. That's how drunk I was. I haven't been that drunk in a really long time. And the person that who is having the wedding was very disappointed with me, and he gave me a whole. I had to sit down and have a talk with them, and it made me feel really bad. And I was uncomfortable.
Now,
it's not
a come to Jesus meeting.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so are we going to get back to this laceration?
Oh, Joe Dog, tell him the story. I don't believe it either. By the way, Joe's full of crap.
I woke up with that.
I've done.
I
that
had a
before.
dream. I had a dream. I was working on a car, and my arm got hung down in between the engine and whatever, and I was stuck. And I did something and yanked back and knocked the hood, and the hood fell down on me, which woke me up, and I was bleeding.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
So Joe tells me this story, and I said, so what did you have your arm actually caught in? And Joe says, I told you the story.
I don't know.
And I was like,
Do you have a headboard that you could have caught your arm in?
That's what I
Was it in a
And
dog's
your dream
mouth?
was
like, did
your
you have
dream
it
was
caught
making
the dresser?
physical make sense?
And Joe Dog said, no. I woke up and there was my arm, and that's what it was literally not stuck in anything. And I'm sitting there just being like, no, something happened. But Joe maintains
Psychosomatic injuries.
Not buying that.
I mean, neither do I.
You can have a psychosomatic bellyache, but a breaking of the skin, no.
He had
Your
to have
brain
been
can't do that.
sleepwalking.
Maybe
Well,
it's those murderous little mutts. I never trusted chihuahuas.
No, look,
that's pretty
that
well
is
behaved chihuahuas, I'm gonna say.
That is too big for a chihuahua.
I don't know.
Yeah, you
And it's only a
that
scratch.
one.
You know,
It's
Joe.
only
Dog,
a scratch. It's
Joe,
not deep.
You know, Joe. There is
You're right.
There is a
Is there a hole in the
possibility.
ceiling?
There's a possibility that we didn't consider.
What?
Your wife.
She sleeps on the couch now.
She got tired of you farting in bed.
She sleeps on the couch now.
Yeah, she wants her bed back. She's trying to get you to sleep on the couch.
But yeah, I mean, I woke up and my arm was hung. It's what woke me up, is I couldn't get loose and the hood fell on me. And I woke up and the scratch was on my arm.
You know, and that's the thing is I've had dreams like that before. I remember having a dream one time. I'd fallen asleep with the we had a Sony 5-disc CD changer. And I don't remember what discs I'd put in there at the time. I remember laying down listening to music when I went to sleep. And in my dream, I remember in my dream being at a Marilyn Manson concert. And when I woke up, Marilyn Manson was playing because there was a Mechanical Animals Marilyn Manson album was in the CD changer, and it was the next CD that was playing after the one I was listening to. So when I woke up, I was like, oh, that infiltrated my dream. Like that was in there. That wasn't even like a, I don't know.
Yeah. See, Carl, our psychologist, says experiments have shown you can cause blisters to raise through hypnosis, but a cut. And
Carl also said it's a stigmata.
Yeah. No, I don't have it on both arms. Sorry.
Let's.
I have woken up without dreaming about anything whatsoever that I can remember. I have woken up with mysterious injuries that I did not have when I went, and that's got nothing to do with the pets or my wife, or that the waterbed might have a sharp edge on it or something. But
I would like to point out that I've also woken up with mysterious injuries that I don't remember how I got them either.
Now,
the cause of the amnesia might be similar in case, but
now John's got a picture up there, and Lewis will understand this.
No.
There are some priests, that have the stigmata that can hold a statue of the Blessed Mother, and she would cry. You heard those stories?
Mm-hmm.
My aunt is a Dominican nun, and she met one of these priests. She got my mother a statue of the Blessed Virgin and handed it to him to bless, and it started crying. Yeah. Hasn't cried since.
There's stuff out there we can't quite explain yet.
Yeah.
But the movie Stigmata was really good.
Yeah.
I am not into horror movies, but that I don't consider that a horror movie. That's a kind of a thriller, more of a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Love that movie though.
I got to watch that senior year in computer class.
Oh boy.
they had to program the computer to hack that.
No, we didn't download that one. No secret confidential Redstone files from that one. No, the teacher brought in the DVD.
We said horror movie, and Skunk's like, "Ooh,
No. I'm oohing over something else I saw on my phone just a second ago when I went to grab another drink because somebody had sent me a text message. Joe, I'm going to send you a message in a minute. Don't click that link.
Don't
Just
click
ignore
that
it.
link.
Just ignore
Not
it.
safe for work.
Just ignore it. Because all I need is for it to appear in my browser so that I can click on it.
Don't download this song.
Don't worry, because it's StreamYard related, or not StreamYard related, but show related. I'm gonna come on. Don't
heard
fight me on
pings.
this one, Faith.
I have not seen that in years.
Joe, I knew you would know what that was as soon as I sent it to you. That's why I sent it to you specifically. Oh my God, Facebook, stop being like this, Facebook. I need to bring this up. Everybody else in the call needs to see this. Is why I'm like, I'm drooling.
Oh man, it's an expose on the car.
This is too cool. This is too cool.
Now I think I know what it is.
Before I bring it up, Dan, do you want to take a guess?
I have not seen that in years.
Do you want to take a guess? Dan?
My guess is Christine.
No.
No.
Oh,
you would be
okay.
dead wrong. Dead wrong.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time I've been dead.
Hey, take a look at that.
Okay.
That is one hell of a Corvette.
That's a stretch Corvette. All right.
Stretch
Right?
vet.
Oh man, this
It's a
is
Corvette limousine.
yeah, that's ready for prom. All right. It's
Really?
and I'm looking at it going like that's got some Batmobile stylings to it, doesn't it?
Now that
If I'd
back,
shown up with my date for the senior prom and that, the football team would have beat the crap out of me.
Look at that's very Batmobile there in the back.
yeah,
Also,
very.
Also, you can I just want to point this out. You can tell where the Bondo is.
Well, yeah, there's
Yeah.
extra fins.
You can also tell where it cracked on the fin.
Well, I mean, it is for sale. It needs some restoration. But holy crap, what a car! That's so Batmobile, isn't it? That's a very Batmobile looking car.
My favorite Batmobile's the Tumbler.
Oh,
the thing here,
Lewis.
they don't have the one thing that gives this thing some prestige,
What?
unless they talk about it in the article.
What would that be?
A 3-page spread in Hot Rod magazine.
What, does it have that?
I don't see the pictures.
I want to point out that if we're talking about being featured in a magazine, we didn't get a 3-page spread. However, we did get a little blurb in Hot VWs once. My dad did with the Stretch Vanagon. He got a blurb in Hot VWs. We were so happy about that. Of course, you flip the page over and there was like a 9-page spread about somebody's like tricked out rabbit that was like lowered and came. I saw the stupidest thing outside of the Harley dealership in Dalton today. It was a lowered, I don't even remember what car it was. It was lowered, and I remember it had negative camber on the wheel, right? Negative camber, so the wheels stuck out like this. But what was really great about that, and what was really stupid about that, was that there was a vinyl sticker in the window that said, how did it go? It said everything in my life is negative, and the hearts were going this way. It had hearts next to it going this way. So everything in my life was negative. I went, oh, that's clever. You're also stupid.
Now I'm disappointed I didn't find this sooner.
I got to admit, negative camber looks kind of good, but it's so stupid. So stupid.
Skunk?
I don't think it looks good.
Skunk,
I think it
whoever,
looks good, but it's stupid. The tire is not designed to ride like that.
I have a story.
I'm mad. I'm mad now,
Real
Skunk.
quick, Joe Dog's mad. I want to know why. Why are you mad?
That's for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
For how much?
12,900. 13,000.
Wow.
That's
mad?
cheap.
Are you mad
That's
that you
cheap.
don't have $12,000?
No, I'm mad that it's pending because I could have sold it. I mean, I could have.
Bought it?
Bought it.
Yeah.
What do you, okay. I was about to ask, what do you mean? there was something I wanted to ask Brandy and I didn't, and because
Send her an email.
we got talking about something else. No, it's a real simple thing, and I don't think it requires an email. She said that her vice chair is Don Puckett.
Yep.
Since when?
It's been a couple of years.
I didn't know that.
Well, actually, that happened.
When Timmy passed her the torch.
No. Well, yeah. Well, when Timmy passed the torch, but it
was the next board meeting.
Yeah. It was, yeah, because of certain situations.
That was the thing. I didn't know that. At one point when I was struggling after moving back here and after I left Best Buy to go to Hot Topic, and then that didn't work out. I was struggling there for a little while trying to find work, and I was trying to contact Don because Don a long time ago offered me a job, and I wanted to get a hold of him to see if that offer was still on the table. He's changed phones since last time I talked to him, and he doesn't get on Facebook a whole lot anymore. And the last time that I haven't seen him at Halicon in a really long time.
He is 100% committed to Liberty.
See, I didn't know that, and I was worried about him, man. I hadn't seen him in forever, and I'm friends with Michaela.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, she'll post something about Don's daughter, Caitlin, and so every once in a while I think about him, and I'm just all like, what is he into now, man? I haven't seen him in forever. I had no idea, literally zero idea that he was. So I wanted to ask Brandy how he was doing. Because I haven't, he doesn't get on Facebook ever. He never responded to my message I sent him on Facebook. He changed his phone number. I miss the guy. He's a good dude.
Every now and then, Inga will post something.
Okay.
All right, so we're talking about street cred and magazine pages.
Uh-oh.
All right, Get Out Magazine. Do I get some street cred?
Yeah.
There's me interviewing Bob Corker. Okay. And then, hold on. It's not a 3-page spread. It's a 4-page spread on my documentary.
Hey, actually, wait. Bring that back up. No. Go back to the page. Go back to the first 2 pages of the spread.
See?
Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Brilliant. Hang on.
That's him, the big picture at the bottom.
Yeah, and I'm on the left over here. That's me interviewing Bob Corker across the river there.
There's the Market Street Bridge and everything.
Yeah.
Now, was that
cool.
Mayor Corker or Senator Corker?
Oh, he was already senator by that time.
Oh, okay.
But we were talking about his days as a mayor.
Oh, I can even see it says some ultimately Lewis Lee. That's so cool, Lewis. That is okay. That's cool.
Yep.
I personally have only been published once in a magazine, and it wasn't cool at all. It was very nerdy and horrible.
Well, usually I write. I've got a stack of old Pulse magazines that I've done cover stories for, and that was always fun. And then when I started going full time at GOW, all of a sudden Gary Poole said, "I'm not going to ask him to write anymore."
let me tell you, you don't like the guy RTN.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
If I see him, I will spit on him.
Me and him about had a fight one time because of.
I'm betting on you. You're small, but you're scrappy.
Because he posted a blatant lie in the Pulse and put my name at it.
Uh-oh.
John, remember when the Stringers got their haunt shut down by the church and they had to move?
Yeah.
He said my name, put my name, listed me. Efforts to contact him have not been returned. So I called him. I said, "Okay, this is me. How did you try to contact me?" Well, I didn't have any contact information for you. That's why nothing was returned. Then you didn't try to contact me. And as Lewis Walk is away from his mind,
he's listening.
I'm listening.
How can you make an effort to contact me and me not return any contact information, return a request for answers?
Ouija board?
But that basically made it sound like I was avoiding his conversation. See how Lewis responds to that.
Oh, no, everybody's like disappeared on us.
Sorry.
Yeah. But Lewis, I mean, if you say we've tried to contact him, but it's not, they haven't responded.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have any contact information, how did you try to contact me?
Yeah. I mean, it's easy enough to disprove. All you got to do is say, well, just show me hard copies of the email.
Yeah. Well, see, none of that. He goes, I just didn't have any contact information for you. Well, how did you try to contact me then?
Yeah, he was just being lazy and lying.
Mm-hmm.
Which, with my name.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Which, trust me, I caught hell at work for that. What did they try? I mean, work comes to me and says, why didn't you get back with this news reporter? Huh? And then he tells me, no, I didn't have any contact information for. Well, why the fuck did you say you tried to contact me? You tried to contact me, yeah. You could have said, we don't have any contact information, not I refuse or I have not returned any efforts to contact.
Yeah, it sounds like he was just trying to make it sound like you didn't want to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, we would have responded
and please, when RTN is concerned, never use the word reporter. He is not. He is a sensationalist pig.
Did you notice I didn't say reporter?
Oh, you just did.
Question.
I said story.
Yeah.
Well, question for John specifically. John, you laughed. Do you know who they're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, because I don't have a clue.
Neither do I.
I don't need a clue.
Hey, look,
he's a local media troublemaker.
Me, Heather, and Dan are in the we're in the we don't know what the hell's going on, but we're just happy to be here triangle.
I have yet to read an episode of the Pulse.
There's one of the cover stories that I did for the Pulse.
That's a life flight.
Yep, there's my byline. I actually flew with them.
Oh, that's the new helicopter.
Second seat. Yeah, this is one of the new ones. And
jealous.
Yeah. Oh, it was awesome. I said, if I'm going to fly in an air ambulance, front seat's the way to go.
I would love to be on one of those.
Hold on.
Whenever I did a cover story, he always had my blurb in there.
Gears are now turning in my head. Joe Dog.
Yeah.
The person you're speaking of has something to do with the Pulse.
Hold on.
Like if I wasn't so scared to fly in one of those, I would love
a private message to
make a career out of that. Because I'm already a third of the way there.
Oh no!
My former sister-in-law was an air ambulance nurse.
Okay, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
because
about now.
in order to work on a law flight, you have to have your BSN and you have to be full-blown paramedic.
God, I didn't know. Okay, now I know who you're talking about, and I'm sitting here just being all like, I didn't know he was from Chattanooga.
Yeah.
There was another cover story. I did.
not the guy we had on the show. He's
No. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Not gonna say anything to give this away. I'm just gonna say I would never forget that profile picture.
Yeah.
That's burned into my memory of how awful this person is. I did not know he was from here.
Yeah.
Now,
anyway. Lewis, I miss the old Hueys that they used to fly. I know the new ones are better and all that, and the Hueys were becoming. But man, I miss having to put the pictures back on the wall when they buzz the house.
They got a hell of a downdraft. I used to take one to work. I used to take a Huey to work.
I was going to mention that earlier. You know, who was it? Oh, the skunk was talking about he had that fear of falling or whatever.
I cried on a rappel platform. I was sobbing, dude. And Master Sergeant Woodham kept telling me, he's like, "Hey, it's okay, man. It's okay. You know, we're going to be here to protect you. If you fall, we'll just pull this guideline and you'll stop immediately." I'm like,
Belay you, lock you up.
And I finally did it, and I did the rappelling, and I got to the bottom, and I was fine. So I went back up to do it again, and this time I decided, because the one dude was all like, "All right, you did the wall rappelling. Now do a helicopter rappel." I said, "Okay," and then I went straight to the ground and almost died. And then I was crying again, hanging in midair, going, "Oh, it was horrible. It was the worst thing ever." That was one of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life. And do you remember a kid's toy called a sit and spin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Little disc, had a handle, T-shaped handle on top, and you spun yourself around on it.
Those were so fun.
That's what flying in a Huey feels like. It's because the thing is so lightweight and everything's up top on a Huey, the engines and everything, you know, propellers. So you're literally hanging underneath this thing, and it feels like you can literally feel this thing like twisting back and forth up like this, you know. And it's
well, I worked offshore one
in
summer.
A jet airplane. I love it.
Crap!
I can tell when they tilt and
I didn't notice. I know, I didn't notice either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Do the thing. Tell what you're talking about.
Anyway, I used to work offshore for one summer, and that was how you got to work. Was you'd drive down to Houma, Louisiana, get on board a Huey, and fly out to the rigs.
I remember one time for JROTC, we got in a C-130 at the Chattanooga airport. Now every moment I stared out that window going like, "Oh my God, we're going to die. Why are we in this plane?" And it was cool.
Did they let you walk out the ramp and look out?
No, it was just the windows.
Oh, that's
but, I mean, we're strapped into those metal buckets they call seats, and the whole entire time I was like, "We're gonna die." I was like, whatever.
Oh, that's nothing. I spewed like a shook can of beer from the time we lifted off the ground until they got me back on the ground.
I told myself, and I'm very honest about this, that I was like, you know what? I love driving so much. I would rather road trip across this country. But if I ever have to fly, I'm going to say no. Now, going outside of the country, I would much rather be on a plane than in a boat.
Yeah, I went to German mountain school in Germany, and they came out and picked us up one day up in the Alps in a German Army CH-53. We call them Jolly Green Giants. Big damn cargo helicopter, right? Comes in, they sit down near us, and we're like, "Hey, cool." I said, "Yeah, that's our ride down today." Cool. So we all had lunch together at this little place up in the mountains. Got on the helicopter. They took off, and they're real nice about it at first, but then once they got clear of the actual Alps, they're like, you know, lifting it off real nice and easy because they didn't want to mess up the flowers or anything like that of the mountain. Once they got clear of the Alps and got actually out over the rocks, he says, you can hear like the German pilots laughing from the cockpit, and they go, "Whoa!" down the side of the Alps, and you're in the back of it's like the same seat you have in C-130, the heading seat type thing, and
Thankfully, all that was lost. We didn't hear
I
a word
have
of that.
no idea what just happened. John, I don't mean to cut you off, but we got to switch it over to Joe Dog because we have to end the show 38 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Oops.
All right. Be sure to check out all the other Rising Tide shows. We're running long, so we got to jump out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks Heather,
See
John,
y'all Saturday.
Lewis, Skunk.
Bye.
Ready to switch over to the after show.
Whatever my name.
And yeah, and we'll see y'all Saturday night.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.